unforgettable.
Kevin steps on a dive.
Durant for three. It's good. Kevin Durant. Oh, he puts it in. Thompson turning and shooting. What a shot by Klay Thompson.
I'm unforgettable.
Kyrie. Oh, and a pass. Moves and eyes from the crowd. Putting on a show with the ball handling. Layup, it's good.
I'm unforgettable.
Only 3 active NBA players have won multiple Finals MVP awards, and 2 of them are likely to be available in free agency. Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard have player option deadlines this week, but both are expected to decline them and hit the open market. Seth Greenberg joining us now, just 1 week away from a star-studded class hitting free agency, almost certainly headlined by Kevin Durant, 2-time Finals MVP, likely missing all of next season with that Achilles injury. What's the best fit? Where's the best fit for KD?
To me, I say stay in Golden State, because you know what happens? He stays in Golden State, Klay's out, he's out, all right? They have a cause now, all right? They got beat this year. Obviously, next year is going to be a rebuilding year, getting some experience for some young players. But stay where you are, and now all of a sudden you have a cause, keep this group together, all right? And now let's go win it again. And you know, obviously they have a better understanding of his value. If he doesn't do that, maybe go to the Clippers, and I'll tell you why. You go to the Clippers, right there in the backyard, you're taking on LeBron, you're taking on Anthony Davis, and you're taking on the Golden State Warriors. So if you really want to kind of go outside the box, go to the Clippers, make a statement, and actually try to compete for a championship with the Clippers. Now, you got to understand, I'm going to get to the Clippers later. Why would you go to an arena that, and I'll explain that later.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you that question, but okay, later.
Okay.
All right.
Saving it.
All right, because we have a lot more to talk about, like another 2-time Finals MVP and Kawhi Leonard. So he could stay in Toronto. They could sign him to a 5-year deal. The Clippers, the aforementioned Clippers, they're in the picture. And also Woj says he's going to take meetings with the Knicks, the Sixers, and the Nets. Where do you see the best
Everyone
fit?
loves to be recruited. I mean, you know, everyone loves home visits.
Well, why not?
Like to me, there's no reason in the world. Why mess with Happy? Look, in Toronto, he's not representing a city. He's representing a country. He's bigger than Drake. I mean, and think about what he's been able to do. He connects with his coach, the community, his teammates. They've got tremendous chemistry. They have a chance to repeat. Their core group is going to be together. I mean, to me, that makes the most sense. I understand going back to L.A. and playing for the Clippers. Let me ask you something. First of all, I know he's a quiet guy, doesn't like to laugh a lot, all right? But, like, each and every day, he's going to deal with LeBron. He's going to deal with Anthony Davis and whoever else they get. And every time you walk into the Staples Center, this is how big the Clippers are in L.A. You walk into the Staples Center. How many Lakers or Clippers statues are in front of the Staples Center? You're done. Zero. You're walking in front of Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Magic, Kobe, Chick. I mean, you name it, they're in front. They don't have the same identity in L.A. that he could have in Toronto. His whole being and his whole life changes. I understand he's from Southern California. He's got a beautiful house, I'm sure, in Southern California. He can go back there. If I was him, I would stay with Toronto.
So you're saying the two-time Finals MVP should stay put. That would be your ideal scenario. Kyrie Irving's not going to stay put. Guy who grew up in the New York area. Listen, we've heard about the Nets, possibly the Knicks. There has been talk, though, about him reuniting with LeBron James. Where do you see Kyrie?
If I was Kyrie, I learned a valuable lesson this past year, that it's hard going alone. And it's hard when you have a younger team. You've got, all of a sudden, now he's a KG veteran. So why not share that ride one more time with LeBron James and Anthony Davis? Why not now have a better appreciation of being the guy and having all that pressure upon you and having to deal with it each and every day? And I think he realizes right now, you know what? Having a Robin or being Batman or being Robin, whoever else you want to be, when you have another guy alongside you or have 2 guys beside you, now you can load manage. You can have a better understanding of you can have a off day or take an off day and still have a chance to compete. And then when the time comes for the NBA championship, you're going to be rested and talented, and you can then go and move forward. So to me, if I'm Kyrie, it makes the most sense for him to go to LA.
We'll see what the numbers would be too, right?
That's true. I'd watch that.
Ooh, how about that? How about Kyrie in a ball screen with Anthony Davis? Throw that thing anywhere.
Thank you, Seth.
With the first pick in the 2019 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Zion Williamson from Duke University.
Don't even seem real, I just shook his hand. I dreamed about this since I was 4, and for it to actually happen.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to your new team and family in New Orleans?
Let's dance. Let's dance.
You just saw on draft night a teary-eyed Zion Williamson called being picked #1 overall a dream come true. But the newest star in the NBA may be the NFL's loss. LSU saw a potential great tight end in Zion and offered him a scholarship, which could have led to you never know. But the big fella said, nah, I'm a hoop. So he burst onto the college scene at Duke and burst out of his sneaker that one time. Yesterday, he burst onto the New Orleans scene in a special way because Zion led the kids, and Malika Andrews was there.
It means a lot for me to be out here because I grew up in a place similar to this, in the basketball court, where all the kids together, just a place to have fun. So I think it just means a lot for the community for that sports here. I think that's why basketball players want to give back to the community because they never forget where they came from. I love the community that's together. So if there's any events like this, you'll probably catch me at some high school football games, some high school basketball games. I just love to be in environments like that because it reminds me of how I grew up.
What was the significance of basketball for you when you were growing up?
Basketball was just that was my thing, go to school, try to do my homework, but after school and homework, I was on the outdoor court, playing with grown men who was slapping my shot back to half court, just getting my competitive spirit right, and I'm glad I went through that because I think that's where I get my will to win from.
You hear the enthusiasm and optimism based on the arrival of that man and to really assume the mantle and be the face of the franchise in New Orleans.
A lot of these kids, for the first time, are now wearing that logo with your name on the back. What is it like to see kids wearing a Zion Williamson New Orleans Pelicans jersey?
I mean, it's a surreal feeling. I didn't think I'd be here. I never thought I'd be in this kind of situation. So when I got that jersey yesterday, I'm surprised I didn't cry, honestly, because as a little kid, I said I wanted to be in the NBA before it actually happened. I mean, I can't tell you how crazy it was.
It probably comes as no surprise, but Zion is the odds-on favorite to win Rookie of the Year. That's according to Caesars, sitting at 1-3. He's followed by the two players who followed him in the draft, Ja Morant and his Duke teammate, R.J. Barrett.
Jay, just 1 week to go. Free agency, can't wait. Big decisions this week. Kawhi Leonard has until Wednesday to opt into his $21.3 million player option. Marc Gasol's deadline is the day after. Nuggets Paul Millsap has a $30.5 million team option Denver has to decide on by Saturday. Woo. Four-time All-Star spent the last 2 seasons with the Nuggets and KD until Saturday to decide on his $31.5 million player option. Likely to miss most of next season, as you know. Will he be back with the Warriors? This is a huge week in the NBA offseason. Tomorrow is the deadline for restricted free agents to decide on their player options. It's also the NBA awards show tomorrow night. Who's the MVP going to be? Then Saturday, deadline for all player, team, or early termination options to be decided on. Sunday at 6, the free agent period begins. Teams and players can verbally agree to deals. It's
the weakest move I've ever seen by a superstar.
It is the sports story.
We live in this world where either you're a villain or you're a superhero.
Way outside, delivers! A dazzling display.
The back-to-back NBA Finals MVP, Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant's at that place where the all-time greats get the crossroads of physical and mental superiority.
Durant goes down holding his leg. Right away, he knew it.
He's a good teammate, a good person. It's not fair.
How devastating is this injury to Durant's career?
Y'all know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant.
And we will know within the week what KD decides to do. By Saturday, the two-time Finals MVP has to decide whether he will exercise his player option and remain with the Warriors while rehabbing his ruptured Achilles, or whether he will become an unrestricted free agent. Now, the Warriors can sign KD to a supermax deal, or he can help create his own super team elsewhere. And what KD decides will affect the entire landscape of the NBA, even though he may not even see the court next season. Here's Brian Windhorst with more.
Kevin Durant's free agency was always expected to rock the NBA, just not in this way.
Ibaka trying to stay with Durant, knocks it away, and Durant's limping. And Durant grabbing that right leg.
After tearing his Achilles in that terrible moment in the finals, he's gone from an impactful free agent to one of the most mysterious ones the league has ever seen. His choice will set up a domino effect that will have ripple effects throughout the league. Will the Knicks take the gamble?
KD joining the Knicks, I think it would be great for the whole NBA and just basketball, period.
They've been on the hunt for a superstar game changer as long as they can remember. Amari Stoudemire was damaged. Carmelo Anthony was a near miss. Kristaps Porzingis was a false start. Kyrie Irving may be headed elsewhere, and Anthony Davis is no longer an option. So letting young players like number 3 pick R.J. Barrett, Dennis Smith Jr., and Mitchell Robinson develop as Durant recovers may be a legit option, albeit a risky one.
His mindset is to be the domino. That makes every other domino fall.
Will the Clippers go for it? They have the flexibility to go in any direction. They have a terrific mix of gifted young players and polished veterans. They're going to take a swing at Kawhi Leonard. If they miss, they can move on to Durant and rely on their deep roster to compete as he recovers in warm Southern California. But with some maneuvers, they could perhaps sign both. Could it be the Nets? Brooklyn has been clearing cap space the last several weeks, making room for 2 big names. Irving appears to be lining up to be one, and they've been scheming to make Durant the other. Now, perhaps Irving holds down the fort with the Nets' other young pieces as they wait for Durant to return. With him already recovering in New York, it's a serious possibility.
This is going to be the craziest summer ever.
But what if KD just stays home with the Warriors? Golden State was bracing for losing Durant. Now they could turn a crisis into an opportunity. By offering a 5-year contract, the Warriors have the chance to show him support when he needs it most. Rehabbing alongside Klay Thompson, Durant could perhaps flip the script, to go from being seen as a mercenary to a selfless and devoted teammate, then returning to make another run. That sounds like a fairy tale. In the end, it's about selling a vision, the teams to Durant and Durant to the teams. If they're both right, they could be right big. If they're wrong, well, this would truly be a tragedy.
Thanks, Wendy. Let's go by the numbers on KD. So despite the injuries, he averaged 32.9 points per game in this year's playoffs. That ranks as the 4th highest single-season average in the history of the Warriors. Now, Golden State's offense averaged 1.16 points per possession when KD was on the floor, first in the NBA. And when he wasn't on the floor, that dropped to 19th in the NBA. And should he stay in Golden State and sign that supermax deal, his contract will be worth $221.3 million over 5 years. That's an average salary of over $44 million per year.